Have you ever thought why we keep coming back to the same mountains, the same trails, the same viewpoints? You'd think after doing a route a few times it might lose some of the magic, but somehow it doesn't. If anything, it feels deeper each time, more personal, more familiar. And that's what we're thinking about today as we make our way through the Mourne Mountains. Route-wise today, no major plans. We're just going to head on to the Brandy Pad now. There's a couple of drop-off points if the wind picks up. That it's supposed to. Bit of a weather warning later on, much later on in the day, but we'll head along the pad here, the Brandy Pad. Like I say, we'll see where we'll go. There's a couple of points where we can go off for safety if needed, or there's a couple of higher points where we might venture up today. Love this section in the Mournes. It's nice and flat, right across from Hare's Gap to the cairn at the foot of Slieve Beg, basically. And you do get good views down at the Bencrum Reservoir on a good day. But we'll have to keep coming back to the mountains. What a moody morning. Love these mornings. Cloud seems to be lifting. As you see in Hare's Gap there, maybe. I changed my head wear. Not that it's cold, just didn't want my hat blown off. Before I forget, Stephen, the photographer, said to me at Hare's Gap, that's a great viewpoint, great entry-level viewpoint of the Mournes. So put that one under another viewpoint for Stephen. Every time we come back here, the place feels so different. The light changes everything. One morning the hills glow gold, the next they're buried in mist. Sometimes it's quiet enough to hear your own heartbeat, other times the wind's roaring over the tops. It's like the mountains have moods, but it's not just the landscape that changes, we change too. Each return trip carries the memory of the last one. The weather that time, the people you were with, maybe even something that was on your mind then. The trail itself becomes a timeline of basically your own life. Probably one of the main reasons as well why I keep coming back. Just simple sounds like that there. This stream, which the tech runs into Bencrum Reservoir. Could stay there for 10 minutes just listening to that trickle in. Some difference what we're walking into. Grey clouds, definitely full of rain. Down to Hare's Gap where we came from. A little bit later, but we're out doing our wee bits. Hoping not to get totally soaked, but we'll take it. When I first started hiking here, it was all about taking off summits, chasing the mileage and testing ourselves. Now it's more about the connection. There's something grounding about coming back to a place that doesn't ask for anything of you. No deadlines, no noise, no notifications. Just climb, breathe, move. And after a while, these mountains start to feel like old friends. You know where the path curves, where the ground gets boggy, where the wind hits you hardest. You start to trust them in a weird way. You start to trust yourself more. Another waypoint on this hike was the cairn at Slieve Beg, where you could have went up Slieve Beg, or on further on the cove, Lambigan and the lakes. We're going to just drop down out of the wind a wee bit, down past the castle to Commedagh and head towards the saddle, where we could either go up Commedagh, up Slieve Donard, or down to Tullymore or Donard Car Park, or we could head on, finish off the Brandy Pad and head up a bloody bridge. But Stephen's poured on. We'll catch up and get out of this wind. Woo-hoo! Oh, back castles at Slieve Commedagh. Wee bit of low-lying cloud blowing through them. Very moody. Down and down along, where the waves are crashing in, I can see, but GoPro's not going to pick that up. And then up towards Slieve to Binion direction. No views up out of there. Another reason why we keep coming back, something simple. Them clouds just dancing in through the summits and round the castles. It's brilliant. I could actually watch that all day. 4 mile in, 2 hours gone. We're just going to stop at the saddle here between Commedagh and Slievenaglogh for a bite to eat. And I think the plan is head up Slieve Commedagh and just loop back down on ourselves. But it's probably looking about 9 mile all in. But by the time we get to the saddle here, it'll be 4.5 mile on lunchtime. Starving. Southern fried chicken wrap, home bargains, love it. Water. Some dairy milk buttons. Kids, sorry kids, raided the cupboard this morning. We'll enjoy these, take 10 minutes and then head on. It's one of the best parts about returning to the same trail. You get to see how much you've grown. The hill that wiped you out a few years ago might now just be a warm-up. The cold one that once felt unbearable now feels refreshing. You start to measure the process not by steps or Strava stats, but by how you feel out here. The outdoors gives you this quiet way to check in on yourself without even realising you're doing it. You find out how patient you are, how resilient you are, how calm you can be when things don't go as planned. We're going to head this way, up Slieve Commedagh. We're packed up, lunch was had, lovely. We'll kick on. I'll make our way back towards the car. Only another 4.5 mile to go. It's the only major climb of the day, but it's the second highest in the Mournes. No views, not my fault, but I'll apologise. The Mournes are especially brilliant at showing you the rhythm of the year. You see the same ridge go icy white, the bright green to orange and brown, then back again. It's like nature reminding you that everything moves in cycles. Maybe that's a part of why we keep coming back. Deep down we like the idea of renewal, of seeing things come around again. It's reassuring the mountains don't rush, they don't change to impress anyone. And in a world that's consistently demanding our attention, the steadiness feels rare. That was the summit of Slieve Commedagh. Didn't stay about too long, didn't even go out to the cairn, which is probably now 200 metres out from the wee house and style there, but no point, not today. As you can see, absolutely nothing to see. I think it's illegal to come up Slieve Commedagh from this side or go down Slieve Commedagh from this side. I'm not good. A video of the pipe. There's some of the front castles at Slieve Commedagh. Not a great day to be looking at them, guys, but it is what it is. There's also something about building memories in the same places. Every cairn, every bend in the trail holds a story. You remember who you were with, what the weather was like, what was happening in your life. You can't really get that kind of connection on a first visit. It builds you up quietly, step by step, hike by hike. You could call it nostalgia, but it's a bit more than that. It's about a belonging. Directly behind me, Slieve Corragh, another summit for the day. We'll kick on to the next one. If I can see it. Can we see it, Stephen?
Are you joking?
No. So maybe it's not just a place where we're returning to. Maybe we're returning to a version of ourselves we only find out here. On the hills, we're stripped back. There's no performance, no expectation. It's just you, your thoughts, and the landscape. And that's the real draw. Every time we come back here, we're chasing the clarity again. That sense of being completely present. Even if it only lasts for a few hours, it's enough to reset everything. It's the summit of Slievenaglogh. Last summit of the day. We're going to push on towards Just drop down here, style, onto the green lane, onto the Trassey track and home. But we're still not finished yet, guys. Still approximately 3 miles to go. So yeah, I guess that's why we keep coming back to the Mournes. They remind me who I am when the rest of life gets too loud. They challenge me just enough to feel alive, and they reward us just enough to keep us humble. If you've got a place like that, maybe it's a hill, forest trail, even a local park, keep going back. See how it changes and how you change with it. Because sometimes the best adventures aren't the new ones, they're the familiar ones that teach you something new every time. Anyway, that's what's been running through my head on this hike. Let me know what keeps bringing you back to the outdoors. I'll go catch Stephen up. I've lost him in the clag. Sometimes you feel like the mountains take the hand out of you. The clouds are definitely lifting. Oh, we're about 2 miles away from the car. Sod's law, isn't it? If you didn't laugh, you'd cry, but it's always great to be out. So it is. Loving it. That's us, back in the van, 8.5 miles, 4 hours 36 minutes. Slieve Commedagh, Slieve Corragh, Slievenaglogh. Great day out, as always, with Stephen. If you like this sort of stuff, give it a like, subscribe. Leave your thoughts on why we keep going back to the mountains. Doesn't have to be the Mournes, trails, local park. Just give your thoughts and we'll get back to you. Have a good weekend. I'll see you all back out there again next week.